Gentlemen, our next presenter, this guy is exposing the corruption of Dr. Fauci in the legal system, okay? This guy is just coming after Fauci. He's coming after him 90 miles an hour. He's throwing everything he's got to expose the corruption of Dr. Fauci. Do we have any big Dr. Fauci fans out here? Okay, just curious. He might be watching. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to your feet and greet the attorney, Thomas Renz.
I got more whistleblowers. So I'm going to do something a little different today. You know, normally I just speak from the heart. Today I actually got a presentation. The reason I did that is because we've got a number of whistleblowers that came forward, and they gave me some real important stuff. And I don't want to get any of it wrong. And there's too much. There's too much. So I want to start out and I want to tell you this. Not too long ago, our president stood up and he said on national TV, talking about our healthcare decisions, that it is not a matter of freedom or individual liberty. I got news for you. It is. And we're going to remind you of that. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. This is going to be some big stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. Mr. President, you asked us attorneys to bring it. Here you go. When I'm done, here's the thing though. I may not be the brightest, but I'm smart enough to know when you're fighting the federal government that's totally corrupt, and you're fighting this kind of a machine, you want to bring your tools, right? You want to bring your soldiers. I want every one of you, when I get done, this presentation is going to be on my website. I need this viral. I need everyone in the globe to see this, because I'm going to show you. Remember when the FDA said that, you know, there's no deaths? They lied. And I'm going to show you that they knew they lied. So let's talk about this. Can we put this presentation up? I want everybody to see this as we're going. Okay. You have to let me, I entertain myself, right? I mean, I'm working, 24/7. Yeah, I got to do something. So I got a little, we're going to fact check, right? Because I get fact checked all the time. They fact checked my 45K. By the way, they're right. The number's no longer accurate. It's a lot more. So we're asking the fact checkers to post their apologies to y'all when we're done. I found that entertaining. Okay, next slide. How many of you have heard of Uttar Pradesh in India? They gave their people ivermectin. You know what happened? There's no more COVID. You know the horse medicine? You know, that one? Yeah. Okay, next slide. We're going to keep moving. There's a lot. There's a lot here. 18.1% of the people are on Medicare, right? Medicare and the CMS servers, which is where a lot of my whistleblower data is coming from. Medicare is a very important set of data, and I'll show you why in a little bit, but I want you to remember that. 18.1%, okay? So when I talk to you about numbers, these are from 18.1% of our entire country. So, it's not fair to say that you can actually multiply it by 5, but, my statisticians would probably flip if I tell them that, but it's about 1/5 of our country, right? So 18% of our country. Next slide. This is the number of people who have died within 14 days of getting one of the vaccines on Medicare. This is raw data. Raw. There's no analysis. 14 days. You want to know why 14 days is important, ladies and gentlemen? Because if you die within 14 days, you're not considered vaccinated. So these 48,000 people that died within 14 days, now I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say probably some of them died from other causes. You think it's 48,000 of them? You think 48,000? You think none of these were vaccine deaths? Because I'm pretty sure I keep hearing the CDC saying, no, we have no credible data, people dying from this vaccine. Well, according to your servers, I don't know if that's true. Next slide. You know what this is? This is a present for the scumbag fact checkers that keep lying. This is a picture of the raw data from the Medicare servers. Take a look, guys. Fact check that. And I want to know, are you going to fact check DHHS now? You going to fact check Fauci? There's the facts. Next slide. Another screenshot. Another screenshot. By the way, not only do I have the screenshots, I have the algorithm that was used to analyze the raw data, and I have everything else. Fact check that. There's some liars here, but I'm going to tell you who it isn't. Next slide. Remdesivir. My buddy Brian Artis, this is for you. I don't know where you're at, brother, but here you go. So, real number on remdesivir. 25.9% of the people treated under Medicare with remdesivir died. 46% of that 25.9 died within 14 days. Remdesivir causes kidney failure. We're going to have more numbers and more data, but it's a disaster. This is them putting you in the hospital, they poison your kidneys, and they watch you die. Next slide. Safe and effective, right? Is this safe and effective? Doesn't look like it to me. I'm going to let you guys read this. I know we're running behind, so I'm going to try and keep things moving because I want this shared and I want you to read it. So I'm not going to go through everything. I want you to read this. I want you to understand this because you guys have been defrauded by your government. Next slide. Ivermectin. Well, in one case, you have 25.9% of the people dying. In another case, you got 7.2. That's a factor a little over 3. I mean, I'm not a mathematician. I'm going, if it's me or my loved one, I'm thinking I'd rather have the horse medicine. Right? Right? By the way, you see that where it says number of beneficiaries prescribed ivermectin? I thought we didn't prescribe it because it's dangerous. Remember, this is only 20% of the country, 18%. Next slide. Oh, by the way, at the bottom of that last slide, did you see the money stuff? Okay. This is the cost. I'm not saying that the hospitals prefer remdesivir because they make money. Next slide. This, by the way, is more data from the CMS servers. So fact check me again, guys. Please. I challenge you in the AP, at the WAPO, at every other scumbag piece of garbage, trash newspaper out there that's been hammering me and my family. Let's fact check, boys and girls. Let's fact check. Let's see what Anthony Fauci has to say about this. We got his data, buddy. The lawsuits will follow. Next slide. You know what this is? This is from the NIH. Did you know that ivermectin is an investigatory drug for COVID? When your hospital says, oh, the NIH won't let us, they're liars. The NIH is pressuring them not to, for sure, because they want to push the death numbers up. But it's from the NIH website. Looks like an investigatory drug to me. I mean, I think I can read. Next slide. HCQ, remember the thing that Trump pushed that was going to kill everybody? The one where they did the study and they OD'd people on it? giving them multiple factor of the lethal dose to kill them so that they could have some garbage study that then some bought and paid for journal could publish to just, I guess, to undermine Trump and also to ensure that those death numbers kept going up? Why have we been prescribing it everywhere for years? Any of you got lupus? I'm thinking that if you do, I know there's a few people that are treated with it. Are you dead? HCQ, ivermectin, depends on the doctor, right? So I talk to more doctors, and they're all smarter than me, so I can't get into the argument about which is better. Don't know, don't care. I just know they both work better than remdesivir, and I know when people are taking them, they aren't dying. Yes, you know what? God bless you, sir. I'll pray for your family, and I hope everybody else here does too. Someone just said that they killed his dad, and I'm guessing they probably killed a lot of your family members. Because if you've been in the hospital recently, you know what? Let's do this. If you've had a family member or a friend that's been killed in the hospital, they wouldn't give them the treatment. Can you stand up right now? How is that, ladies and gentlemen? How is that? I have doctor after doctor after doctor. You guys can sit back down. Telling me. We got multiple doctors using the McCullough protocol, using the Zelenko protocol, using the Math Plus protocol. Haven't lost a patient. Treated thousands of them. We got some of them that have been speaking here. Any of you guys, were they treating them with the McCullough protocol? I'll bet you, because I know, because I get email and call after call from people begging me to help them as they're murdering their loved ones. I'll bet you that if you did ask them for that, they threw you out of the hospital and wouldn't even let you see your loved one. You know how I know that? Because they do it everywhere in the country. Tell me that's not coordinated. Tell me that's not coordinated. These people have declared war on the American people for money and power. These people are scumbags. They're garbage. They're just the worst. You see that amount per benefit? I point because we've got the screen in front of me as well. So I'm not just pointing at birds. So you see the numbers there. Again, a wee bit lower than remdesivir. Just saying. Next slide. So we're going to talk about side effects, right? There aren't any. Fauci keeps telling me, right? Next slide. You see this? You see that bottom highlighted in red thing? That point is from the FDA presentation. You know, the one that I guess they didn't want anybody to see. FDA plans on using CMS data for COVID-19 vaccination adverse event reporting, right? Right? CMS. You know that data that I just showed you? That's all from CMS. Okay, so they're telling you that they're monitoring CMS, but they didn't know this. Next slide. This is the list of side effects, right? So if you're monitoring CMS, let's say they said, well, nothing on CMS says vaccine death, right? And it wouldn't, because they don't have a code for vaccine death. They don't want that tracked. So when you're in the hospital and you're sick, you're dying, there's a code. You get a code. You've got the flu, you've got pneumonia, you've got cancer, you've got whatever. It's all got codes. There's no code for vaccine injury or death for the COVID vaccines. Okay, so maybe they looked at their Medicare or CMS data, and they didn't see anything because there's no code. There's an oversight on their part, obviously. It's an accident. But luckily, the FDA in that same presentation gave us this list of side effects. Now I want to remind you all, these are safe and effective, and no one's had any of these side effects, right? None. You're all healthy if you've got it. Hopefully you've had 10 boosters. Next This is the number of those side effects that have occurred in New York only. The FDA told us in the last slide that they were, in the two slides back, that they're monitoring Medicare data. They told us that. They then said, we're looking for these side effects. They then tell you, the American people, that there's no side effects, except for, here's the data. Ladies and gentlemen, I may not be a good lawyer, but I would say that case is closed. They are lying. There's no question that they're lying. I just showed you the proof. This is from the CMS servers. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got them. Mr. President, you wanted us to bring it? Now, I'm going to be interested to know whether Mr. President is going to do anything with this or just lie some more and watch more people to die. That's the reason I'm here, right? This is all going to end up in cases because I sue everybody. But the courts are slow. They just are. I can't keep watching people die, so I need your help. I'm going to keep fighting. I need you guys to get this out. You need to show everybody in the world this data. You need to show. We just showed you. It's not like they might have lied. There's no question. This is as clear as day. They have been outright lying through their teeth. Next slide. You know what this is? This is a little bit of info for you on Pfizer. You know, that safe and effective vaccine. The one that they gave approval to the community that's, you know, kind of like it, but not exactly like it, and we're not sure what's in it, but we're going to approve it anyways, and maybe you'll get it someday. Okay, Pfizer. Next slide. By the way, I got a lot of whistleblowers that helped me with this. These people, these Johns and Jane Does, these are heroes. This is the only hope that we have because the government is so corrupt and lying so badly, we would never have it. So they need thank you. I'd like Karen Kingston to come out here if she could. Of my whistleblowers, they're all staying anonymous except for Karen. Karen's been very outspoken. Thanks to Karen, we found some really interesting things. And you know, Karen, I want you guys to understand this, right? As Fauci's making buck after buck after buck killing people, as the Gates Foundation that owns Pfizer, and you know, all these other scumbags that are out there, as they're rolling in the money, new billionaires every day in the pharma. Let me tell you what's happening. Our side, you know, us crazy right-wing wackos, whatever we are, right? People like Karen, they're giving up the cushy jobs because they have the courage to speak out for what's right. She deserves a round of applause. Karen brought a couple documents to my attention, and here's a pretty little excerpt from one of those documents. Do you know what it says? I'm not going to read that all to you guys. I'm just going to summarize. It says that if you got the Pfizer vax, you're more likely to get COVID. More likely. It says it right there. I even underlined it. Actually, I think she underlined it. Someone underlined it. You can't miss it. You get the COVID vaccine, you're more likely to get COVID. Seriously? Seriously? I mean, it's unbelievable. What can I even say about that? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Really? Okay, next slide. This is the head page for another study that Karen got for me. Next slide. You know what this says? I'm gonna simplify this one and just kind of. This says that if you really want to know whether you're getting a Comirnaty or what you're getting, well, you're kind of out of luck. If you really want to know what you're getting, you're going to have to ask your doctor to go online and look it up and go through some big process. So, FYI, guys, hurry, go get the jab. Don't worry what's in it. They don't even know. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Next slide. So we're working on this, right? I got some other things that we didn't have time to get into this because we just ran out of time before this, but I wanted you guys to see this. So, shedding. We keep hearing stories about people who didn't get vaccinated but are around a bunch of people that were, and then the next day they're sick and they're just really coming down with something, right? What's happening? I wasn't around anybody that's sick. They were, the people who weren't around anybody that was sick, right? Well, let me tell you what's going on, or what it looks like's going on. Now, we're going to get to the bottom of this, because if they're going to mandate these vaccines for most people, or push to mandate it, and all these buffoons that are running out and getting it are saying, well, you've got to get it because you've got to keep me safe. You got to quit getting it because you're making me sick. Not only is your stupidity shedding, I'm sorry, I can't be like, that's so wrong. I'm better. Listen, we got to be better than that. I just get, I get frustrated, right? I get frustrated, right? This document is from Pfizer. It's an excerpt from the document. I got links there, in case they want to fact check me. And it says that it's a reportable safety risk. If you got vaccinated and were around someone who was getting pregnant around that time. Why would that be a reportable safety risk? They talk about it being air, skin. It's all reportable. What? I thought shedding was a myth. Why is that a reportable safety event? What? Doesn't make any sense. Well, makes total sense if it's happening. Next slide. So, through a series of documents, and we lay those out in this slide, we come to the fact that Pfizer agreed to do a study. Somewhere near the bottom of this, you'll see that study is based on a document from the FDA. That document is titled Design and Analysis of Shedding Studies for Virus or Bacteria-Based Gene Therapy, ... Wait a second. Wait. Did Pfizer just agree to do a study on their vaccine that's about shedding and gene therapy? Does it shed? Is it gene therapy? It looks like this might just be an admission to me. We'll see in court. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I just did was I laid out an immense amount of evidence. An immense amount. Thank you, Karen. We have everything to back this up. You want to fact check this? You scumbag garbage newspapers? Let me suggest that you start out by going to the people whose lies you've been buying and publishing for the last year and a half. Let me suggest that you fact check Anthony Fauci. Let me suggest that you fact check even our president. Ladies and gentlemen, I need your help now. I want, you know, the guy that was elected. Oh, okay. No. You know, your president, no, okay, I'm just antagonizing, I'm just teasing. Okay, guys, I need you guys to help me get this word out. I need everyone in this country to look at this and to push this and to get the word out. We've got them. Everything here is verifiable. Everything. But the courts are slow. The court of public opinion can be much faster. The general just asked you to stand up and fight. He said it may not be comfortable. It might not. I'm going to tell you, I have rough days. So what? Suck it up. Our founding fathers did, and look at what they gave us. Now let me tell you something. You got two options. We can throw away what they gave us, what our veterans have fought for, or we can stand up and fight even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. When my grandpa was in World War II, it was not comfortable. When our family members, our brothers and sisters, and you all got them, that have went off to war, went off to this, that have fought for our freedom, it wasn't comfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, it may be uncomfortable for you to share this information everywhere. The fact checkers are going to help now because they have facts. It may be uncomfortable. And I'm going to say some of you might lose your jobs. What is your freedom worth? What is your family's health worth? What is your future worth? What are we giving to our children? Stand up and fight, or we lose our country. God bless America. Thank you all, and thank you, God.
Okay, real quick here. Hey, don't get too excited about this guy. I talk to this guy almost every day. Let me tell you, he's the worst salesperson in the whole world. He's a great attorney, but terrible sales guy. So that's my job. Okay, so here's the deal. I need everybody to go to renz-law.com. I'm the worst attorney in the world, okay, but he's the best. Okay, but go to renz-law.com, renz-law.com, renz-law.com. If you're an attorney who wants to get into the fight, renz-law.com. Many of you this morning asked me, how can I find an attorney in my state that'll fight back? Renz, that's renz-law.com, renz-law.com. And if people want to support you, are you going to sell them a rock, or how can you legally sell them something so they can support the cause? Is there something you can do there to raise some funds?
We're working on it. Right now, support our partners. The ChristianRevolution.net, MAFA, Make Americans Free Again, America's Frontline Doctors, Stands Up Groups. Please support our partners. We have a C3. Shockingly, the IRS found some issues. I'm sure there was some serious issues. So we're getting that back going. As soon as we get that back up, we'll talk about that some more. But right now, support our partners.
That's Renz. It's renz-law.com, renz-law.com. One more time, folks. Let's hear it for the incredible Mr. Thomas Renz. All right.